We are the anchors of Queer News Tonight, and this evening we discuss the queer headline. DOGE's abrupt shutdown triggered mass federal layoffs, slashed LGBTQ+ programs, and caused global health crises through canceled aid, research cuts, and lost HIV treatment access.
Bird Theory highlights how partners respond to tiny moments of connection. Queer couples say these exchanges matter more amid societal pressure.
Voters across the U.S. rejected Republican-led culture wars, flipping school board seats to Democrats who campaigned on normalcy, governance, and student-focused priorities.
After suing Ohio's BMV for rejecting queer terms, William Psaki wins approval for his gay plate, strengthening free expression rights for the community.
Former employees allegedly seized Gun-Oil's social accounts, accusing the company of wage theft, while leadership denies wrongdoing and claims internal sabotage. All this important LGBTQ+ news and more this evening on Queer News Tonight. Welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ daily news television show, broadcasting live and available on demand on your favorite streaming channels.
Analytics company vidIQ has certified the Queer News Tonight YouTube channel as the world's most popular LGBTQ streaming news show. Our queer stories have reached more than 11 million views. We are proud that Queer News Tonight has more YouTube subscribers than any other LGBTQ brand in Florida.
We thank you for watching and supporting our voice in our rainbow family. There is no other news program in the LGBTQ world like Queer News Tonight. It is Tuesday, November 25th. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we will tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
You're watching Queer News Tonight, the world's first daily LGBTQ evening news show.
Welcome to the world's most important LGBTQ evening news show. Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model as PBS and NPR, but created for the LGBT community. Our nonprofit mission is to support the 11 pillars of our community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of lesbian, trans, Latino, Black, healthcare, seniors, students, faith, social justice, business, and queer culture. Help us support our diverse community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine, and Happening Out Television Network. In 2025, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ experience, and Queer News Tonight is celebrating our 5th anniversary with more than 11,000 LGBTQ television stories. We present South Florida's major LGBTQ events, including Pride Fort Lauderdale, Stonewall Pride, and Pride Fest. Our magazine, events, television news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ and broader community.
In 2025, more than 100 community leaders will sit at this table and share their voice as our anchors. Together, we host this show to support our LGBTQ community. Let's meet this evening's anchors at Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome anchor Gregg Shapiro, an inductee into the Chicago LGBT Hall of Fame. Gregg is an entertainment journalist whose celebrity interviews and reviews run in a variety of regional LGBTQ publications and websites. Welcome, Gregg. What's happening out?
Thanks for that groovy welcome. I'm happy to be here. I survived this weekend at the Miami Book Fair, which was fabulous. And I'm now in the process of writing about good holiday gift suggestions for this holiday season. And this is one that I strongly recommend. This is the new reissue from Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab of Stevie Nicks' 1981 solo debut album. This would make a great, it's got to be a really big stocking if you're going to put it in a stocking, but you could also wrap it up very pretty and put it under the Christmas tree or whatever symbol you have to celebrate your holiday. Strongly recommended.
I love Stevie Nicks. She's timeless.
Me too. And that shawl. I wish I had a shawl. And those boots. I want those boots too. And of course, let's welcome tonight's lead anchor, Larry Farver. Larry has more than 20 years of experience in human resources, acting, film, radio, TV, live events, parade float design, production, and casting. He's also a board member of the West Side Association. Larry, Wilton Manors holiday lighting ceremony returns on December 4th. Tell us what's happening out.
Sure, Greg, I'm happy to. The city of Wilton Manors invites the community to welcome the holiday season at the annual holiday lighting ceremony on Thursday, December 4th at 6:30 p.m. Held at Flippin Park, located at Northeast 21st Court in Wilton Drive, this festive gathering brings neighbors and visitors together for an evening of warmth, unity, and celebration. The ceremony will feature the lighting of the holiday menorah, Kinara, and the iconic Wilton Manors Christmas tree. Guests can enjoy live musical performances, delicious food from local vendors, and family-friendly holiday activities for all ages. For more details, visit wiltonmanors.gov. Well, this is one of my favorite events each year, and being a resident and involved in some of Wilton Manors activities, it's always a delight. I think I've gone for at least maybe 5 of the 6 years I've been here, and there's always a lot of music, from young children to our gay men's chorus and everything in between. So it's something not to be missed.
Do you sing along, or you just kind of stand there and look?
I'm a spectator at this
one. Well, I have to say that living in South Florida has changed my entire outlook on the winter holidays.
Yes.
No more snow, no more ice, no more freezing temperatures, no more frozen snot stuck to my upper lip. So I hope everyone gets to celebrate menorah, Kinara, and Christmas tree lightings in tropical Wilton Manors at least once in their life. Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at the holiday lighting ceremony on December 4th.
I'm Larry Farver, and let's queer up the USA view. DOGE fallout leaves LGBTQ plus communities reeling at home and abroad. The government's now defunct Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE, and once championed by Elon Musk, has quietly disappeared after just 10 months, leaving behind a sweeping damage to federal agencies and LGBTQ plus communities worldwide. When asked about the status of DOGE, White House Personnel Chief Scott Cooper told Reuters, quote, "That doesn't exist," end quote. Yet later he insisted online that, quote, "The principles of DOGE remain alive and well," end quote. DOGE has promised up to $2 trillion in savings. Its own widely challenged estimates claim $214 billion. What isn't disputed is the fallout. 300,000 federal workers fired, including roughly 25,000 queer employees. The dissolution of USAID alone cost nearly 2,000 staff and more than 640 lives globally, many tied to abrupt losses of HIV medication and LGBTQ plus legal protections. One former administrator told The Advocate, quote, "We had entire regions losing access to life-saving medication because of a political decision made in Washington," end quote. Cuts extended to the LGBTQ-focused research, with more than 270 NIH grants eliminated and millions stripped from HIV prevention programs for youth and communities of color. A lawsuit from the American Public Health Association alleges DOGE directly drafted the cancellation notices. Well, this is sad. This is a sad state of affairs.
Yeah.
And I think the one thing that keeps me going strong is that we've had some blue waves, in several places in the country. We were just talking about the wins in the school boards. But this is unacceptable. And I know voters are going to remember this. They have to.
Well, I hope people have good memories. Yes. Quote, "The principles of doggy," as Heather Cox Richardson calls it, "remain alive and well," end quote. That is a terrifying thought. The damage done is likely irreparable, and we will be living with the aftermath, the doggy do, if you will, for years to come. Is there any chance we can convince Wrecking Ball Elon Musk to also quietly disappear?
Wouldn't that be a
It'd be
plus?
wonderful. Oh, I'd love it.
Yes.
I'm Gregg Shapiro, and let's queer up gay culture. Does the viral bird theory hold up for LGBTQ plus couples? A decades-old idea called the bird theory is gaining traction again, and queer couples are weighing in on whether it really works. The concept originates from psychologist Dr. John Gottman, who discovered that how partners respond to small, everyday bids for connection, such as pointing out a bird outside the window, can reveal a great deal about a relationship's long-term health. As therapist Will Dempsey explains, quote, "The idea is when one partner shares a mundane or small moment, the way in which the other partner responds can reflect the overall health of the relationship," end quote. For queer people, these moments may carry even more emotional weight, on which Dempsey adds, quote, "Queer couples often navigate additional societal pressures, so small moments of attention and validation can carry extra emotional weight," end quote. Therapist Ciara Bogdanovich says queer partners, quote, "are more likely to have experienced a lot of invalidation, so attunement with their partner can be even more meaningful," end quote. But passing or failing the test isn't the point. Instead, patterns matter. One distracted moment is normal. Repeated disconnects may signal deeper issues. However, before assuming trouble, experts suggest communicating needs. As Bogdanovich puts it, quote, "Focus on the connection you're seeking, not on blaming them for getting it wrong," end quote. I feel like I just got my wings. My husband and Rick and I often point out things to each other, and not just that I'm always right. That's something, he just takes for granted. But like we've had a lot of hummingbirds recently hovering around this fire bush near our driveway. And when each of us sees it, we'll call the other one in. It was my first time ever seeing a hummingbird. And we share that. So I'm happy to know that there's now a name for it, the bird theory.
Yes. No, and I try to do that with my husband as well. I think typically it's when we're out and about, and I try to find humor in things, because I get out a lot more. He's retired. I'm still working and get out there, and there's a lot of truth to it. And I think it is a barometer to how healthy a relationship is. And there's no perfect relationship, but no. I think it is definitely an indicator.
Yeah.
I'm Larry Farver, and let's queer up students and youth culture. Democrats flip school boards as voters reject GOP culture wars. Democratic-backed candidates scored major wins in school board races across the country on election night, signaling voter fatigue with Republican-led culture wars over books, bathrooms, and LGBTQ plus inclusion. In Pennsylvania alone, Democrats flipped at least 24 seats, and in Cypress, Texas, they picked up 3 seats, ending 2 years of Republican control. Candidates endorsed by Moms for Liberty and Turning Point USA lost in New Jersey's Ocean City, and Republicans also lost ground in suburbs around Columbus, Ohio, according to Politico. The shift comes after years of heated conservative campaigns targeting mass trans-inclusive policies and what they've called, quote, pornographic books. Anti-LGBTQ parents' rights groups such as Moms for Liberty and Leave Our Kids Alone rose to prominence with the support from GOP leaders, including Ron DeSantis and Glenn Youngkin. But this year, voters prioritized the economy and school safety over transgender issues. The Cato Institute found Leslie Gilmert, newly elected in Cyprus, said, quote, "Folks just want their school boards to be boring again. They want normalcy," end quote. Democrats there emphasized restoring basic governance, especially after conservatives banned 13 textbook chapters on climate change, diversity, and vaccines. Pennsylvania winner Danielle Kimikata said, quote, "National politics is very performative, but local politics is very personal. One of the messages that really resonated with voters was that there was no national political agenda that we're bringing to the school board," end quote. Well, there's a lot there. I think, we have to look at several things. There weren't many major elections. There were some gubernatorial elections, and luckily in some of the northern states where they won out in the blue, which is great.
Blue.
Yes, blue. Yes. The whole thing though about banning books and differences in thought and just using, teaching young people to use their brains and make decisions for themselves rather than being robots.
Critical thinking is so
I know.
dangerous.
Oh my God.
I'm so afraid.
Oh.
Well, I'd like to point out that the 4-letter acronym for Leave Our Kids Alone is LOCA, as in crazy. And speaking of crazy, it's been such a pleasure to watch Moms for Lobotomies crash and burn. As Daniel Kimakata said, quote, national politics is very performative, but local politics is very personal, end quote. These are important words to remember when it comes to upcoming local elections. Vote, vote, vote.
Yes.
I'm Gregg Shapiro, and let's queer up the USA View. Ohio man wins battle for gay license plate after free speech lawsuit. An Ohio man's fight for free expression has paid off. William Psaki has officially received his custom gay license plate months after filing a lawsuit challenging the State Bureau of Motor Vehicles' ban on queer terms. In September, Psaki sued state officials after the BMV rejected his attempt to register a plate reading gay, a plate he hoped to debut on National Coming Out Day. In a sworn declaration, he noted the system also blocked homo and 4FG, aka fag, while allowing applications for anti-LGBTQ plus plates such as no gays and no fags. His co-plaintiff, Cyrus Madavi, said the agency similarly rejected Muslim, but approved atheist and Hindu. Just 2 days after the suit was filed, the BMV settled, agreeing to issue the plates and review its database to unlock words that don't meet the legal standard of being, quote, offensive, disparaging, or socially insensitive, end quote. Psaki told WEWS he's thrilled, quote, gay is who I am. It's a fact and I'm proud of that. That's my free speech they're messing with at that point, end quote. Now, when people point at his plate, quote, it puts a smile on my face. I'll always remember this plate, end quote. He hopes others will feel empowered to claim their identities too. Congratulations to William Psaki. So when my husband and I still lived in Chicago, this was our license plate. There were no flaming hoops to jump through. We simply requested it and we got it. Meanwhile, here in Florida, as you may have guessed, the worst drivers on the roads are the ones with the family values and don't tread on me Gadsden flag license plates. No one's treading on you, Hunty.
Yeah, it's crazy. It really is. Yeah, I have my sea turtles, save the sea turtles. So
that's good. That's a good cause.
Yeah.
Or like the spay and neuter.
Yeah.
We should actually get spay and neuter and have pictures of politicians.
Oh, I'd love
instead
that.
of a dog and a cat. That would be really great.
But
there should be a rainbow plate. Don't you think there should be like a?
But who would you choose first to put on the plate, Greg?
Well, Ron DeSantis, maybe, but okay.
I'm Larry Farver, and let's queer up business. Gun Oil CEO denies wage theft claims, says fired employee behind social media takeover. Gun Oil, one of the most recognizable lubricant brands among gay men, is caught in a very public internal battle after a wave of accusations hit the company's social media pages. Over the past few days, an alleged group of former employees appeared to seize control of Gun Oil's accounts, accusing founder and CEO Scott Frazier and parent company Empowered Products of, quote, wage theft and labor exploitation, end quote. In a post on Twitter dated Friday, November 21st, they claimed that the company, quote, failed to pay $21,067 in overdue salaries and invoices owed to 7 agencies, contractors, and refuses to pay its freelancers, marketers, and creatives, and agencies, end quote. When reached for comment, Fraser told Out that the negative content came from, quote, a long-term employee dismissed for extensive malfeasance, end quote, adding that a police report has been filed with the Las Vegas Metro Police's Financial Crimes Unit. A pro-gun oil Instagram post on Saturday attempted to dismiss the accusation, stating, quote, we are dealing with people who have no legal right to post on our behalf, end quote. But the response only inflamed critics and ambassadors. Well, I wonder, and I really wonder, and I don't know if we would find out, but being in HR for my day job, a lot of companies now have social media policies, and they're very strict. But I'm wondering who's controlling their cyber security, their websites. So they need to get their act together, no matter, even if they are right, you have to have a tight grip. I mean, I've worked for companies in the past that will go nameless, not my current company, but companies where people did things like sit there with piles of money and banking and posting, and you have to have controls in place.
Absolutely.
And make sure people understand that there's strict ramifications. But it'll be really interesting, Greg, to see how this all comes out and what the truth is in the end.
Well, I love that you said tight grip in a story about lube. I love that. I totally dig it. It really is a slippery slope, isn't it? Can't we all just get along?
Amen to that. LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up politics. Marjorie Taylor Greene, the anti-LGBTQ plus Republican congresswoman, to resign in January. Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene says she'll, quote, resign her Georgia House seat on January 5th, 2026, following a public break with Donald Trump. Greene angered Trump after she voted to release the Department of Justice's Jeffrey Epstein files. She says Trump supporters have since threatened her life. She wrote, quote, I have too much self-respect and dignity and do not want my sweet district to have to endure a hurtful and hateful primary against me, end quote. Greene leaves behind a record of extreme anti-LGBTQ plus attacks, including targeting trans youth, slurring trans officials, and spreading conspiracy theories that have long alarmed queer Americans. Well, first of all, don't let the door hit you. Second of all, pick your battles, for your pretense that you want to release the Epstein files, but you fail to support the LGBTQ community, including trans folks. You were brought into your office to represent everyone, whether or not you agree with their personal lives, their gender identities. You still are paid by the government and taxes that come from the people that you support.
And if she had dignity, she wouldn't be wearing that sweater in a video, just saying. Now she just needs to find a hot femme with a pocket full of dental dams to take care of her bleached, blonde, bad-built butch body, and she'll be begging us for forgiveness for all the hateful things she said.
Oh, I'm sure.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up gay culture. New survey shows Wilton, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Hollywood are top LGBTQ cities in America. A new national survey highlights Florida's strongest LGBTQ communities, with Wilton, Manors, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Hollywood, and others earning perfect scores in the Human Rights Campaign's Municipal Equality Index. Orlando also scored 100% for the 12th straight year, thanks to non-discrimination laws, queer-focused services, and strong city leadership. The HRC says cities are, quote, testing the limits of restrictive state laws, pushing back against various checks on municipal power or discriminatory state laws, end quote. President Kelly Robinson warned, quote, state legislatures are waging a calculated campaign to erase LGBTQ plus people, end quote, but praised cities choosing equality. Top? Even with all the bottoms here? Wow.
One of the reasons my husband and I moved here 6 years ago was we vacationed down here and we always felt welcome. Mm-hmm. So when it came time to really pack up and move from the New York area, it was a natural choice. It was like, well, we're not going to move to Central Florida. No. We're not going to move to the Panhandle. It might be cheaper to live there, but couldn't do that.
Couldn't be gay.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. So we're very fortunate in South Florida to have some really great places to go, Orlando as well. Hopefully there'll be some spread with, people.
The next election,
Yes.
perhaps more gay people will move here. Come on down, the weather's fine.
Let's hope so. LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up lesbians and queer women. Lesbian anti-heroines step into the spotlight. 2 new dramas are embracing a darker, truer slice of queer life, asking, are miserable, middle-aged lesbians having a renaissance? The Beast Within Me and Vince Gilligan's Pluribus Center on depressed lesbian writers Claire Danes, Aggie, and Rhea Seehorn's Carol, who refuse to play the roles the world demands. Their queerness isn't the plot, their honesty is. Like Melissa McCarthy's Lee Israel, tired of eating shit. These characters remind us that representation means showing our whole lives, not just the sunny parts, especially now when sapphic characters keep getting cut. Well, I think that's true not only for the lesbian community, but the gay and also any of the LGBT rainbow. I think it's important that we be honest with ourselves. We're not all saints. And, some of us are sinners and, everything else in between. We're people.
Yeah.
And just, like cisgender people, the gay community does have its moments. And I think it's important to keep it human. I know that there's some people who like to idealize us and not have us get knocked off in a horror movie or be a villain, but it's reality.
We are every color of the rainbow. However, I don't know, I worry about pissing off our lesbian sisters. I would tread lightly if I were the folks behind The Beast Within Me and Pluribus. Just saying.
Well, I think it's something certainly to check out. I love Claire Danes. So
me too.
I'm going to have to catch
My so-called life. I mean, she's that's the best.
Oh my God.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up the worldview. Grace Richardson becomes first out gay Miss England. Miss England just crowned its first openly gay winner, 20-year-old Grace Richardson. The musical theater student and part-time model says she is in shock after winning the 2025 title on November 21st, 5 years after coming out on TikTok and enduring homophobic bullying at school. Richardson hopes her visibility helps LGBTQ youth. She said, quote, I feel so powerful and proud of myself. It was a struggle to accept myself while a lot of people weren't accepting me. It is important for young people to feel seen, end quote. Brava, Grace Richardson. I just hope Donald Trump wasn't involved in this beauty pageant.
Well, it's great that she now can be a role model for future generations of not only young lesbian women, but perhaps, spectrum across the rainbow, non-binary, trans. And I think it's important in these pageants that there be more equality and that, people have, the fact that she had the strength to come out is very, very, much a testament to who she is. And I wish her well in her future.
I just wondered, if her talent was building a she shed, what's the lesbian talent for this pageant?
Yes, you wonder. LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up entertainment. Beloved gay cult film icon Udo Kier dies at 81. Gay Hollywood and art house legend Udo Kier has died at 81. His partner Delbert McBride confirmed the news to Variety. Kier appeared in more than 200 films, including Andy Warhol and Paul Morrissey's Flesh for Frankenstein and Blood for Dracula. Born in Cologne in 1944, Kier worked across Europe and later became a queer audience favorite through his roles in My Own Private Idaho, Dogville, Melancholia, and even Madonna videos. Well, it's sad that he passed, and we wish his partner well and our condolences, but he had a very strong career, and
incredible.
It's sorry to see him go.
Well, in my opinion, the movie missing from that list, and one which deserves to be included and seen by everyone, is 2021's Swan Song from gay writer-director Todd Stevens. It also stars Jennifer Coolidge and Michael Urie. It's a great film, great cast, and it features a career best performance from Kier. So Swan Song, I recommend it.
Thank you. These are today's headlines from Queer News Tonight. Our anchors represent the best of our LGBTQ family. If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Don't forget to join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform. Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines.
We need your support. If our community is to grow and then thrive, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world. This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your anchor, Larry Farver, and I want to thank you for joining us on behalf of my fellow LGBTQ anchors here at Queer News Tonight, Gregg, Shapiro. We'll see you daily at 8 p.m. To our LGBTQ plus world, we wish you a good night.